Thanks to the support as a channel member, Michael Dennis. What do you mean you're already looking to sell the club? We've not even played a game yet. I'm still living in a hotel. Do you know how many chairs there are in hotel rooms? It doesn't matter how much of a good offer it was. You've just spent all that money. We've got the best youth academy in Europe. Why on earth would you want to sell? Oh. I mean, at least promise me you'll think about it. Hello? Hello? Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Can we just start things off by thanking you all for your incredible support on part 1 of this series. If you're watching this video, I mean, full disclosure, this was all recorded 3 days in advance. I've got 2 versions of this. But if you're watching this version of this intro, that means we hit the 3,000 like target that I set, and that is incredible. Thank you very much for the support. If we get 2,000 likes on this one, I know it gets boring asking for likes all the time, but seriously, at the start of a new series, it is the one thing that separates a series that ends up being a success and one that ends up being a flop and getting cancelled. So if we could get 2,000 likes again today, I would really appreciate that. It would really give it a good old boost in the algorithm. And of course, if somehow you're still not subscribed after all this, that feels like a problem you can fix as well. But before we get going on the main bulk of the episode, a couple of things to address. Firstly, yes, there really has been takeover rumours at the club already. Luckily, Mrs Wearmouth, for now, has turned them down and has gone back to loving the club status. But I am a little bit concerned that it wasn't rubbished like a week before when the takeover rumours first started. Mrs Wearmouth, you're not filling me with confidence. I've moved all the way to Greece. Please, at least stick around. At least she's built the academy. I guess if she leaves, I can leave. I'm only here under duress. But that's happened, and also we have done a few transfers. Like I said, we've not gone absolutely crazy. We've just done what I planned to do, which was fill some of the little gaps that we had in the squad. So this guy, we didn't have a gap on the wing, but this guy's got a lot of potential and is already wanted by lots of clubs on loan, apparently. He's Australian, previously played in England, Italy, Belgium, Greece. He's only, 21 years old, and he's already done the full European tour, and now he's wanted by clubs back in Australia for loan. He's got a very Greek-sounding name. He has Greek and American as additional nationalities, and he's declared for Australia and came through the Watford youth team by the looks of it. So, the Udinese youth team, previously of Watford. This boy has got around a little bit, but he's come in just because he's got potential. Likewise, Petros Foustiliakaris, maybe. He does 2 jobs. Firstly, we needed cover at fullback. He does both sides. Plus, he's 17, has good potential. He's previously of Ergotelis. And yeah, like I say, fullback on both sides. Can't really argue with that. Just as some extra cover for fullback as well, Manolis Bolakis is a 24-year-old former under-21 international. He played once, but we're still claiming it. Who is as good as Sabouris, who's our other right back that we've got at the club. So we've got some good cover in the fullback positions now. He's on loan for the rest of the season from OFI Crete. I assume because it's capitalised, it's OFI, but you probably say it in Greek versions of those letters, there's no chance I'm going to be able to say that. And then lastly, Socrates Phytanidis is a 35-year-old Greek, former under-21 international. That was a long time ago now, who I don't expect him to get in the team, but again, it's just giving us a little bit of strength in depth, a little bit of cover. And we're now completely used up our wage budget. In fact, we've gone over our wage budget. Luckily, not so far that Mrs Wearmouth is going to get grumpy with me. I don't think that's why she was looking to sell. She's not looking to sell. There was just rumours of a nice offer. So, pre-season went well. Lots of wins, including a 7-0 win in the 4th round of the Greek Cup, which is the first round we get to play in. Because of the relegation last year, though, and the fact that the club has signed 25 players this summer, I only signed 4 of them, but 25 new signings this summer, along with a relegation, means the team cohesion is absolutely terrible. Although we do have a good dressing room atmosphere, good managerial support, so fingers crossed, this stuff and the quality of our players outweighs that stuff. After having done that transfer window, this is what the media think. They still think we're favourites to go up. I'm there on the new managers list. We've still got 5 players in the media dream 11. We've also got players favourites for player of the year, young player of the year, top goal scorer. We should do quite well. We just need to hit the ground running. And this first day of the season is against Kerkyra, and they're predicted to finish bottom. If we don't win this comfortably, it's going to be a long, hard season. So this is the team that we're putting out there today. We've gone with a 4-3-3 gegenpress to try and get the best out of the defensive midfielders that we've got at the club. We are training a diamond version as well. We've got good wingers. We're probably not going to use the diamond. And then also a counter-attacking version of the 4-3-3, just to give us options if the gegenpress doesn't work. But gegenpress is always going to be my first try. If gegenpress doesn't work, then we'll go to plan B. So we're going with Wanderson in goal. Our 36-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. Diamantis Chuchumis is our left back. We are going to learn these names and get to know these players. One of our look at the beard on that guy. Put a pair of glasses on him, and he's about as handsome as a man can get. Georgios Zizopoulos is going to be partnered at the back by Juan Larrea. They have to be either Argentinian, Greek or Brazilian, apparently, to get in this team. Manolis Bolakis, the guy we brought in on loan, is going to start right back for us. Defensive midfielders Franco Halilaj, who's the under-18 youth player chap who came for our youth team. He's the first product of the new Fancy Youth Academy, and he's going straight into the team. In front of him in midfield, he's going to have a fellow Albanian, Claudian Gino, and he is going to be partnered by Marko Blazic, 34-year-old Serbian who got a hat-trick in that Greek Cup game that we just played. And then up front, we've got Nikos Giannina, who's a 25-year-old Greek player. And then on the left, Javier Iritia, who's Argentinian. And on the right, Thomas, Brazilian. They're the 3 nationalities you're allowed, I guess, and Serbian and Albanian, so there's 5. We've got quite a mix, but we're well inside the limits for non-EU players within our squad. I think we're allowed 5 under-23 non-EU players, 8 non-EU players in total. We're classed as having, I think, 4 under-23s and 6 in total. So some of these South Americans presumably have picked up Greek nationality somewhere along the way, which is why they're now hanging out in the Greek second division. Because I can't imagine why anyone would come directly from Brazil to the Greek second division. It makes no sense to me. Iritia has just hit the outside of the post from range. We've got a nice big stand on this side of the ground. It's a nice stadium. When I was doing the research for episode 1. We'll get back to that in a minute because Thomas has just scored a lovely goal. There's no stand at all behind this end. I don't know if that's how it is in real life. Lovely finish from Thomas, though, to put us 1-0 up, 9 minutes on the clock. We just intercept the ball. There's your gegenpress in action. Is that Halilaj? No, that's Zizopoulos. So Thomas was in, and it's just a tidy finish. We've got inside forwards on both sides, so expect to see lots of wingers getting involved in the action. But yeah, the story of the stadium, from what I can tell, is it was built just after the Second World War, and then it was basically falling down. But in the early 2000s, I think it was, Olympiacos played here for 2 years while their ground was being rebuilt, and they paid for loads of repairs. So it effectively got rebuilt and modernised. So Olympiacos were doing 2 grounds at the same time. Presumably they must have done this ground, fixed it up, then moved into it, then knocked their own ground down, rebuilt it, and then left again. But it meant that we kind of got, presumably, a load of free repairs. So it's reasonably modern. It looks really cool on the pictures that I've looked at. I don't remember there being a car park behind one goal, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I wasn't looking at the pictures right. But, I mean, it all looks very English, doesn't it? There's, bless them, Sports Interactive are wonderful at so many things. But when they do a stadium, goodness me, do they all look like they're in England? Because it doesn't quite look fancy. The light's not even right for this to be in Athens. And I don't think there's huge swathes of Athens that are just car park and red brick walls. I could be wrong. I've never been to Athens. Maybe this is exactly what it's like. Maybe it all does look like Stockport, but what do I know? So 1-0 up, 35 minutes in. We're doing reasonably well. This stand is massive. I don't know why we've put 2 tiers on here and nothing behind that goal. It makes no sense. Balakis to Halilaj. We're definitely keeping an eye on him because I've got him earmarked as our first big money sale. I'd ideally like to keep him here for the season, let him help us get promoted. But with the kind of way we're planning to do this save, I presume there's not going to be loads of money just from getting up into the Greek Super League. So in order for us to get money, we're either going to need to establish ourselves in the Champions League, which is a long way off, or sell players for big money. Now, in order to get to the point where we get to the Champions League, we're going to have to sell some players for big money because we need to sort out our training facilities. That looks a bit more Greek. I'll give them that. It's just the other side didn't. Don't get complacent out there. I still can't speak Greek at the moment, either in-game or in real life. Corner swung in from the right-hand side, and Juan Larrea has our second goal of the season, our second league goal of the season anyway, to put us 2-0 up just after half-time. This is it's a lot of whip on that corner. It's coming very quickly, in swinging towards that far post, and they're doing the chicken dance to celebrate. What more could you possibly want? I don't know whether I want to be learning to speak Greek as part of this series. If anyone can teach me any words in Greek, let me know, and we'll see if we'll do episode 100, and I'll just do it all in Greek. Don't see how that could go wrong. Right, Karakis in goal for them. I've got to work on some of the pronunciations of some of the players first. I'm all right until they get about the Zizopoulos. I can do that. His name's not too long, but I kind of get lost halfway through the really long ones. Chuchumis. I mean, he's begging to be renamed The Train with a name like Chuchumis. Right. Substitution, easy there. Gaetanidis. That works for me. I mean, he's only on loan. I don't know why we're developing players for other clubs. That's not what we're for. And our new loanee right back, not playing very well, so we can just bring on the other one, Saburis, who is the guy who was here before I came here. So he's the one most established, presumably. Although with 25 new signings in the summer, I would imagine there's very few players who were at the club last year when they got relegated from the Super League. So this is probably a very, very much a bunch of new faces and probably 10 or 12 debuts today. That's a good save from the keeper, who Juanderson. I need to remember his name. His name should be easy to remember because it just sounds like H. Anderson or Hugh Anderson. Good old Hugh Anderson in goal. Right, last substitution. Supposedly our best striker, Ioannidis. So we can bring him on, switch him up to an advanced forward. We just played Giannitsanis. Gaetanidis. No, that's him. How can we have a Giannitsanis and a No, that doesn't work for me. This is going to be an absolute mess. I need nicknames. I need them fast. Right. Least we won the game. That's the important thing. And there was only 2 players who made their debuts, presumably because the rest of them all made their debuts in the cup game. I imagine for league debuts there was a lot there. Right. Do we play? We play again soon. Let's go do that. No changes for the second game then against PAS Giannina. Let's have a look to see how good they are. I'm just basing this purely on pre-season predictions at the moment. So Giannina are... They're the team predicted to finish second, so this is a big game. That last one should have been an easy win, and it was relatively easy, but we didn't exactly thump them. This one, though, away from home against our biggest rivals potentially for this title race. This is where we find out if the Gegenpress works. Right, let's... carry on where you finished off in the last game. I mean, we've been pretty dominant in every game we've played so far, including the friendlies. The friendlies were largely against other teams from our league as well. So we've been doing well. We're slowly but surely assembling some form, and that's a lovely ball over the top. But Giannitsanis, what's his first name? Nikos. We might just change his name to Nikos because I can say that. And what are the chances of there being another Nikos in Greece? We'll be fine. He'll be the only one we come across in the entire save. Right, cross comes in, and that's a good save from Juanderson again. He's already proving to be a very important part of this team. All of his experience. I don't know what's led him here from Brazil at age 36. He's been in Greece for years. Brazil, Portugal, and then years and years and years in Greece. This is his first time in a good few years, though, playing at this level. So he was our keeper when we got relegated last year, and he's been in the league above for most of the last 4 or 5 years. So fingers crossed, he should. I mean, he's not the best goalkeeper in the division, according to the Dream 11, although he was initially, I think, but then they changed their mind because I checked the guy who took over, and the guy who took over wasn't new. So he was there all along, and I think the media have just thought, actually, you know what? Maybe a little bit better than Henderson, even though he's got the better name, because Henderson is a great name. Right, 0-0 at half time. I think in the grand scheme of things, playing this lot away from home so early, if they are going to be our main promotion rivals, I'd be happy with a 0-0 draw here. I can live with that, because as long as we don't lose against them, theoretically, if the media are right, this is our most difficult away game of the entire season, and we still haven't learnt to play together. Most of the players still don't know each other. Choo-Choo with the cross, and it's just over, but Choo-Choo with a lovely free kick, whipping that in on his left foot. He looks pretty dangerous delivering these set pieces with his left foot. Balakis is having another poor game, so maybe he's not going to be the answer at right back. Let's take him off and bring Saboris on, who's probably going to start the next game now, I think. Thomas, after scoring in the last game, not doing so well today. So Giannina can come on, who is better off as a winger on that side because he's right-footed. That'll do for now. We'll ask for 10 minutes of passion. Let's have some passion towards the end of the game. They've just lost a player through injury, so they're down to 10 men, I think. So this feels like an opportunity to go on and win this game. So let's get Giannina on. Can he go out there? Is he any good at that? He's not too... I want to keep him on, but we're going to bring him on instead. He was the one who... I think he was 5th favourite to be top scorer in the division, Giannina. So you would think he would be a decent option, but he wasn't fully fit for the cup game, and we played well without him, which is why he's not been in. But I think it might be time to squeeze him into the team. We'll have to see. Obviously, I'm still very much learning my way around this team. Giannina with the shot straight at the keeper. We've now had more clear-cut chances than them. And Choo-Choo to take another corner. It's going to be another in-swinger, hopefully aiming for that far post. That's exactly what it is, but this time it's headed clear. And I thought for a second there we might have won a penalty, but Halilaj, my youngster, my goodness, there's Giannina. A delayed reaction, my goodness, off of the O there. That's new. I've not done that before. But that's terrible defending from Giannina. They've let the ball bounce in the 6-yard box, and Giannina, we knew we just talked about the fact that he was a potential top goal scorer in the division, and he's just nipped in with the easiest tap-in you'll ever see. And there's Giannina with the interception there, and we're charging three on the counter-attack. We're charging the number 3, everybody. And Choo-Choo's there to make the interception and plays it forward to Giannina, who shoots from range. He needs a name change. I can't cope. His name is just a little bit too long for my non-Greek tongue at the moment. The rest of them, I'm slowly but surely sort of figuring out my own way to butcher them. At least it's a consistent butchering, and that's a 94th minute equaliser. Well, I guess we did them with a set piece. It's only fair they do us with a set piece as well. As bad as their defending was, ours is equally poor because we're the ones who've headed that across goal. Zizopoulos has headed that across. Right, I don't know why he's not heading that clear. He's just headed it parallel with the 6-yard box. And believe it or not, there was someone there to score for them. I said a draw would be a fair result. I'm not going to complain too much because ultimately we're probably going to play them home. We're going to play them 3 more times this season because of how the league splits off and how that works. Right, we will play a few games offline now. This was the other team I almost went and managed just because I like the idea of the name having drama in it, but they weren't in Athens, so it didn't fit the narrative. But I want to play them just because I like the name, and then I can put drama in the title of the next episode. It makes it seem all fancy. So we'll come back for those 2 games probably and see how we're getting on. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. The next episode will be 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Probably should have said that at some point. So 11 a.m. tomorrow. And then I'll work out eventually whether this will be permanently in the 11 a.m. slot or whether we'll swap it over with Bourne. I really need to see which series ends up being the most popular, and that one will get the 4 o'clock slot, and the other one goes to 11. But for now, at least, tomorrow's episode will be out at 11 a.m. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And thank you very much for watching.